Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at Ethereum. Before we jump into the price section, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. Okay, so we need to talk about a couple of things here within the subwave counts, and some of the things we were potentially looking for yesterday have actually invalidated, and where we think that this is going. So we did actually come down here towards this 1695 to this 1688, which is this golden pocket area, and we did to get a reversal off of this. But the way that we've been rejected here, we need to just be careful that we don't have some continuation to the downside. So I've still got this channel on here. We can see we've actually interacted with the top end of this. What I would like to see if we are looking for that more bullish case here would actually be to actually get above this and start to move away. For as long as we remain within it, I am keeping open the idea that we could still see a additional leg to the downside here, and we could see a move which actually rather looks to play out something like this as a continuation down, where this becomes a bigger, more corrective structure. So the problem when we have structure like this, if it is becoming a more complex move here, this can do all sorts of things within this little area here, and we need to just be cautious with basically saying that we're looking for a breakout too soon, or whether we're actually going to continue to maintain this. The problem we do have here is this move from this high. So this move from this high potentially can be counted as a five-wave structure, in which case we need to be aware that, because of this fact, we need to just be cautious that we don't continue to reject to the downside something like this, and then actually we have a bigger five-wave move on our hands, which is looking to push us down lower. So we need to just be aware this is a possibility. The structure isn't great at the moment, so we're going to go over some of those smaller wave counts in a second. So I just want to go over some of the things that we talked about yesterday, which are no longer valid. And basically, when we were sitting here, we're talking about there is that possibility. We've come back down here and we've tested this bottom area. We could look to potentially move away from this and start to form a bigger structure. So I'm just going to go over that now. That was the breakout. So we're looking at that potential of that wave 2 holding, but then we actually lost that 1731. So this is why we say, once we start to lose the 1731 or the 0.786, it becomes less likely that it's going to continue. So that is basically gone. We were also talking about this. I'm going to just remove some of the noise here. And what we were talking about within this is basically within this area here, saying that we could see this as an A, B, and look for that C to the upside. Alternatively, we're also talking about the potential that we could actually have this just as an X wave here, where this whole move here from the left here is a flat correction. This is a connector wave, and then actually looking to break down as well. So, we did have this possibility to break up, but we got a rejection off the top of this channel again, and then basically now we have started to move to the downside. So we're going to discuss a couple of things. So I can actually remove this now. This is no longer valid. So, like I said, because of the fact that we have this, I've got two different channels on here. I'm going to I'm going to just hide this one for the time being. Basically, what I'm looking at with this one is a slightly different way of looking at the channel. I've just connected it off the tops and pulled it down to this bottom. But basically, what I'm looking out for here, actually remove this as well, is the fact that if this is just a connection wave here, potentially we could see some more continuation where this just becomes a bigger W wave here as a W, we go over connector wave here, and then we're forming an additional three-wave structure to the downside. So what's going to be key here is whether we actually hold, if we can hold these lows. If we can hold these lows, then potentially we could start talking about bullish price action here. But we really need to hold this 1710. And what I would want to see here, basically, if we're looking for that bullish standpoint, is to not actually come below this 1719 area again. I'd want to hold that and then be looking at this potentially looking to extend out where this becomes a 1, 2, then we get a 3, 4, 5 up here, and then we have some internal waves which are extending. If we do start to lose this lower range here of the 1719, it becomes more likely we're going to see at least another leg to the downside. So what could this look like? So basically, we've come pretty much up to the 0.618. It isn't quite as high as I would have ideally hoped, but within this, we could argue that the few things here. We could just say this is a three-way move down as an A, This is a B wave up, and then we're looking to drop for the C. So that Y wave 1 to 1, if we're looking at this as a W, X, and a Y, is down here at the 1659, and the C wave low at a 1 to 1 would potentially put us towards the 1642. So if I just throw the support boxes on again, there we go. So we can see that that 1 to 1 of the Y wave would actually bring us down towards the 786 at the 1657. If we start to break down lower towards this 1 to 1 of the C wave, the 1642 area, we need to be cautious because this could actually indicate we have something else going on here, and we're going to discuss that in a second. But because of the fact we have this 5 wave move here, we need to be just a little bit wary of the fact that if we do continue to set lower highs here, this move could start to extend out. But if we do just get another move to the downside, which comes down towards this 0.786 at the 1657, I'd be on the lookout at this point for that possibility of a reversal, and actually looking to see whether we could actually start to form some structure to the upside. So this is looking for that bullish case where we're looking for this to hold as a basically looking for this to hold as a 1 2 and another 1 and a 2 here. But really, I'd like to see this getting going now, because when we start to just do this within a range, the likelihood starts to become higher that we're going to just actually fall apart and then lose that count completely. So the alternative thing we were also talking about previously is, we can always still look for that fact that within this structure, we could actually complete into this high, and we could be looking to form a deeper correction, potentially down towards this 1587 to this 1458. So this is still on the cards. The lower range of support we need to hold if we are looking for continuation to the upside here would really be this 1206. Wouldn't want to see us start to lose this 1206 region. Once we start to lose that, it becomes more likely that actually we are in a continuation to the down and could be moving down to some of these lower target areas we have here. That hasn't happened yet. We're still above support lines, so we need to just bear in mind that we can see this all of a sudden turn around and start to get going, where this becomes a 1 2, and then we actually start to push away. So that's why we're looking at these support zones here, and looking for that potential of a move away from this to the upside. Okay, so I'm going to come back down here, and basically, like I was saying, if we are starting that move to the upside, we don't really have a lot to work with here. This move is very choppy, so I'm really not looking at it as an impulse at the moment, because as you can see, we got what looks to be three-wave structure here. We could argue that this is a 1 and a 2 here, and potentially we have another 1 2, and then we're getting another 1 2, and then we're going to start to move up here. But really, unless we start to break up much higher, and I mean, given the current structure, I'll be looking for a move over this 1803 to get more confidence in the fact that this is becoming an impulse. And then we could then argue, that within here we have a 1 2, getting a 3 4 5, and then we'd be starting to look for those additional legs in here where we could get another fourth and a fifth, where this becomes a 1 2, and then this becomes another 1 and a 2 in here. And then basically this looks to actually make up a bigger impulse that's extending out. But until we actually get that, we need to just be aware we've come up into this previous support zones here, and we've been rejected. We need to see if this holds, potentially if this starts to break down here, and we start to lose this 1719 area, it becomes less likely. The last zone that I'd be looking for, sort of as a support zone, if we are looking for continuation up, would be the 1700. If we start to lose that 1700 area, basically, this really starts to become more likely that we're going to break down deeper. So that's going to be the support area is still going to be the same for the time being. Looking for more evidence whether this is going to play out. But if you do start to lose this 1657 range, like I said, it becomes less likely. If that's the case, we'd be looking down here towards this 1587 to this 1458 area for support to come in, and then look for that possible continuation to the upside. Okay, so the thing is with this structure, like I said, it is, if this is just becoming a bigger, more complex correction here, we could actually even still be within this X wave here, and we could be forming something like a flat correction in here. There's a lot of possibilities where we could see something like this as an A, B, form a 5 wave move up here, and then that's still actually part of this X wave. And what we would want to do is basically just maintain this 1857 if we're looking for that possibility. So, if we could see this actually play out as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, even take this high, and it could actually still break down as a flat, as an X wave. So, there's not a lot to go off of currently here. It could even be a triangle developing where this becomes an A, B, C, D, E, something like this, and then we just actually break down from that point. There's so many different ways we can count this at the moment. What I want to see is whether we actually manage to break some of these key highs. If we start to break back above this 801 area, it would invalidate that possibility of having some extension within here to the downside. But really, until we do that, we need to just be cautious. This channel line is currently sitting above us, towards the 1763, which is actually just above this 0.618 to 0.65, which is at the 1756 to 1759 area. And if we do come up higher here, potentially the 702 might be an interesting zone at the 1765 as well. There could be a retest of some of these highs here, retest of the channel. And then we'd have to monitor that. If that starts to break down, potentially that could actually, be the trigger we need to actually get the C wave in going here. So the more bearish way we're looking at this, and looking at this as potentially having a bigger 5 wave drop. I haven't This hasn't invalidated either, so that's why it's important for us to get back above these highs here, at this 1800 area. Because for as long as we don't, basically what we could see is a bigger 5 wave move. So I was looking for the possibility of this being a fourth and a fifth. However, we've come up too high now. We've actually crossed this wave one. So unless this is becoming a diagonal, it wouldn't really fit the structure anymore. So I'm going to remove this off of here. We have come up too high for this as a 5 wave move like this. However, it is still possible we could still form a diagonal here where this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the problem with that is it wouldn't really fit into this unless it was becoming a leading diagonal, or this is an A, a B, and a C, in which case we would have to change how we look at this corrective move. So, we need to be aware there is still that potential that we could see this play out as a bigger 5 wave move to the downside here. Really, until we take this high and this 1857, I'm going to be very cautious about this. We are showing some strength here to the upside, but really need to get back above some of these key levels and start challenging these high points for more confidence that this is going to continue. Otherwise, at the moment, it is just a 3 wave move, which could always reverse to the downside. So what I'm looking out for here is, for as long as we stay below this high point over here, which is sitting at the 1770. What we need to be aware of is there is always that potential that we could have actually formed another 1 and a 2 in here. And this wave is actually extending out where we have a series of 1s and 2s here. And now we're potentially looking to start that bigger sell off in a third wave. So this is all looking for that possibility of forming, a bigger 5 wave move down here towards this 1568 region. Looking at this as potentially a 1-2, and then looking for this move to actually develop down into this area. So if we did get something like that as an additional 1-2, it would put us right in the zone for this. So we're keeping an eye on it really until we take these highs. We need to just be a little bit cautious of that potential to break down. Confirmation, given the current structure of a 5 wave move, would only be much lower here at the 1622. And then if we did start to break down from here and we do move down into that zone, potentially we can start looking at the fact that we have this as a 1, 2, 3, get a fourth and a fifth wave down, which could look to actually, let me just do this, which could look to push down towards this area of uh, 1611 to 1593 if we actually do start to break down. Obviously, there's no confirmation here. Invalidation of this would be moving back above this 1770. And, there is always the potential that we are still within a bigger corrective structure here that just still hasn't played out. But this is an A wave, potentially forming an X wave in here. This is a W, we're forming an X, and we could still come down here. We don't have enough information. This does have promise, but the way it started is very choppy and I don't really like it. to be honest with you. It is just looking corrective up, so I am still anticipating that possibility to break down. So the only way that that would change is if we actually break back above this 1803, then we can start to argue that we've set that low here potentially, and we are looking to actually push to the upside. And then, look for some of those higher targets and looking for further confirmation that we have, this is a potentially completed corrective structure here as a wave two, looking for this higher target range here of this. I'd have to change this now, looking for this higher target here of this 2092 range, but we don't have that confirmation yet. At the moment, we just have three-way structure, so I am treating it as still possibly looking to make another leg to the downside. So the key thing here is if we do break down, what we want to see is whether we get something like this as a five-wave move here, or whether we just get a three-wave move down as an A, a B, and a C down towards the 1642, and then we look for a reversal. So these are the key areas that we talked about earlier. Potentially this X wave 1-to-1 of the 1659 and the 1642 area here. So that'll be looking to actually re-challenge that lower range of that support box. So it just needs a bit of time to see how we play out here. This is going to be a key zone, 1657. We start to lose that, the wheels start to fall off, and basically I will be looking for these lower target areas here, potentially even coming back into this channel line or testing some of this horizontal support that we've got here towards this 1555. Some of these highs here could be interesting areas as well. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on it. Basically, just need to give it some time, see how it plays out. I don't currently we can't. It's too soon to say whether this is going to break out from this. We need to continue to maintain these lows and start to form some good impulsive structure. Like I said, 1803 is that zone that I'm looking at for a bit more confirmation. But even then, it wouldn't be completely confirmed at that point because, like I said earlier, we need to be careful that within this structure we don't have an A, B, and we form a C wave up past this A wave here, then look to reverse from there. That would potentially look to trap quite a lot of people in this zone, and we could actually use that then to push the price down lower. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on the bell notification so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. As well as that, there are affiliate links for both PrimeXBT and BYBIT down there, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.